YouTube? It is your boy Denali, aka Don Squally, and we are back at it with another Forza Horizon 3 build video, man. As always, with our build, I guess you could say series of videos, man. We are taking another request from one of our viewers on YouTube, and today's request is coming from, let's go ahead and get that controller connected real quick. There it is. Today's request is coming from Gaming Gone Wild, and he wants to see that B is for build Aston Martin, man. I gotta say, as soon as I seen this one, I knew for sure I had to do it. I've been following Chris and B is for build, which is his channel, for quite some time. And I gotta say, man, I'm a big fan of this Aston Martin. So if you guys do know that car, it is in fact a V8 Vantage. Now, unfortunately, we do not have the option here for a V8 Vantage of that era. So what I think we're gonna do is go ahead and jump in this 2013 V12 Vantage S and see if we can get this thing going, man. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, want to see a specific build, maybe one of your favorite YouTubers, definitely don't forget to let me know down in the comments section, man, and we are going to do our best to make that happen. Now, I just picked this blue color here randomly. Obviously, a little later on in the video, we're going to switch up the color, but before we do that, let's go ahead and jump into the upgrade shop. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, the original idea with this car, Chris bought it salvage. The original idea was to make a wide body 2JZ, you know, pretty much drift missile. Now, the more and more this thing got put together, man, obviously, the more attached Chris grew to this car. And, you know, I'm glad he went ahead and ditched the wide body fenders, because to be honest, I don't think they would have necessarily made the car look much better. The side diffusers make the thing look a lot wider already. Now, obviously, he has a battle arrow wing on there, which mounts a little bit differently than this one we have here. But since it's the only option, we're going to go ahead and install that. Now, as I was saying, the idea was to make a 2JZ swapped drift monster. Now, as this thing got put back together, I can't lie, man, the thing actually turned out to be a nice looking car. It drives well from what we've been told on the videos. And it's tough to go ahead and, you know, potentially wreck a beautiful car, luxury, pretty much the most luxury car that, you know, I know Tavares has had a Aston Martin, and I forget who he bought that off. I think it was like Rob Ferretti or something like that. Or no, I think it was Doug DeMuro he bought that off of. But it's just one of those cars that you don't see a lot on YouTube, especially done up the way Chris has done his. And now that it's finished, I can't blame him for wanting to not drift it and, you know, keep it relatively stock and just enjoy it the way that it is. Now, I'm just going to skim through a couple of wheel options here, try to find something that matches what Chris has on his car. And I think this set right here is going to look pretty good. Let me see. It was either between those or these. I kind of like these better. So we're going to go ahead and stick with those. Obviously, they're going to be getting painted. So as it sits right now, last video we've seen, or I've seen of this car, you know, it's pretty much in daily mode, man. The thing's looking super fresh. So I hope to see it that way, and I hope to see a lot more of this car on the channel. But we're going to go ahead and do a couple of things out of the ordinary. One being suspension, because I really think this thing would look sick. Drop just a little bit, not completely slammed, but drop just nice and subtly. And I'm going to go ahead and leave everything else as far as the drivetrain goes. And next up, we obviously have some engine upgrades to be had. I'm going to go ahead and put an intake and exhaust for my own personal preference, but obviously as it sits right now, the car has just dual intakes on it. And I mean, stock exhaust, from what I understand, it has a electronic cutout, I think. So I mean, overall, you could just say I'm pretty much real jealous. But we're going to go ahead, lock this one in, then head on over to the tuning shop. I mean, there's really nothing that I need to do here. The suspension I'm not going to slam. I want to leave it at a relatively modest height. So I guess what we got to do next up is hit that designs and paints. Now we do have a couple of changes to make here, mainly painting the wheels black. Oh, what is this? This blue stripe. That is definitely not going to work for me. But we need to paint the car, you know, we need to paint it gray. Now this thing did go from white. Chris didn't like the white, ended up going to the gray, so we need to replicate that right now. Now I'm thinking we're gonna have to go to special colors here, probably make a nice little custom gray. Now this car, in different light, it looks kind of like a different gray. We're gonna go ahead and do a little custom in between these two right here. Just lighten this color up just a touch. That is looking good right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and paint these wheels black, even though we're going to be switching them up. And I'm also going to tint the windows just for fun, man. So let's go ahead and save this to the current car. Too many save files, go figure, man. Just wouldn't be the same if we didn't have to go ahead and delete like 10 files every single time we do a video. But now that we got all that out of the way, the last thing that we have to do, obviously, is get rid of these wheels. And for me, if it wasn't these wheels, I said it was going to be these wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and drop those on the car. But I don't know, it has like this kind of weird chrome center cap. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this set of Graham lights on here. I think these are pretty close to what he has. And now that we got that out of the way, we are ready to hit the road with this thing. Now keep in mind, because this initially was going to be a drift car, I'm going to actually try to drift it out here. Even though I'm pretty sure that this V12 Vantage here is probably not going to be the best car for drifting. I mean, you know, the Aston Martin is a great luxury car, but as far as a drift platform, I feel like it's going to be really, really heavy. And even if you gut it and take out all of like pretty much the stuff that makes it so great out of the car, making it, you know, that much lighter, I feel like just the way that it's built, it's still going to be a heavy car, you know. But we're about to find out real quick here. Lots of traction, I'll tell you that much for sure. It really doesn't want to break traction too much. Very easy to handle. I wouldn't recommend drifting the B is for build Aston Martin through situations like this, but I mean, because it's Forza Horizon, we get the ability to do it, man, and that's why I love this game. Now, I can't lie, it's actually drifting really nicely. The traction is there. There's a lot. I mean, bear in mind, we do have the V12 and not the V8. The V8, you know, I think it's somewhere around 400 horsepower or something like that. Correct me if I am wrong. This thing has no problem spinning those back tires. I don't think that the V8 will have a problem either. I'm sure. You put a nice set of Bernies on there with a cheap set of tires. Wow, I'm very impressed with this car. Oh, hold on. Driver error, driver error. What? All right, let's get a little interior shot here. And I love Forza 2, man. The attention to detail is great. See that tachometer going the opposite direction to what we're used to here in pretty much every car on the market, which is really nice. Unique touch to the Aston Martin, I guess you could say. Oh, not wrecking that paint though. That was nice. So I mean, overall, I didn't really expect this car to perform as well as it is right now. I mean, this is drift zone. Let's see if we can get that drift zone. This is a nice, oh, the traffic's always, and the freaking, oh, did you see that? Every time, man, those AI drivers. Yeah, this car is very, it's a pleasure to drive, man, I gotta say. You know what, if I had this car and I built it, I put all that time and effort, I know, you know, Chris has experience with fixing up all the cars that he gets on Copart there. But, I mean, if I put all that time and effort into making this Aston Martin beautiful again, I wouldn't go out and start drifting it. I would keep that thing as daily as F, man. And I would just roll up everywhere, man. McDonald's, pizza, where else you go? The bank, I don't know. I guess probably have to go to a, you know, get an oil change. Actually, no, B is for Bill. He'd probably do the oil change himself, man. But, you know, it's one of those cars that I think would really be, it would be a kind of a, you know, you're making a statement when you roll up on the scene as opposed to rolling up. I mean, you know, the BRZ is pretty fly, but it's not an Aston Martin, dude. It is definitely not an Aston Martin. But I feel like it is about time to pull off here. Take a little screenshot for our thumbnail and put an end to this one. So as always, if you guys did enjoy this one, don't forget to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more and you are not subscribed yet, definitely do so. And with that being said, I am your boy D Nolly, aka Don Squally. I just want to say thank you guys for watching, and we gonna catch y'all mofos at the next one, man. Peace. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.